All right, this next guy, he was here in November. He did his first open mic ever. It was his first time on stage. And you guys didn't scare him away, and he came back for more. I want you to give him a really nice hand for D.W. Paone. Let him hear it, folks. Give him a nice hand.
I'm back. These days, whenever I'm on stage, I have a sneaking suspicion that Kanye West is going to run up here and tell you why Beyonce should be up here and not me. All right, today is March 6th, and in Europe, this is a holiday. It is the Day of the Righteous. And I'm going to have to read you the definition from my little cheat sheet here. How many people thought this was a handkerchief? It's the day to commemorate those who have stood up against crimes against humanity with their own moral responsibility. The Day of the Righteous. Not to be confused with Al Sharpton's birthday, which is the Day of the Self-Righteous. Let's see, there's a University of Michigan study that has identified the top 5 addicting foods. And they are, in this order, starting with the number 1, the most addictive. I can't remember 5 things, so I have to look. Ice cream, chips, chocolate, cookies, and pizza, also known as the Chris Christie breakfast. Let's see, the mall in Wisconsin was under tight security a short time ago because a terrorist group put out a video encouraging Muslims to attack Western malls. Now, it was all a big misunderstanding. The name of this particular terrorist group was called Al-Shabaab, and the real reason they were at the mall was that they wanted to open a restaurant in the food court, and they were going to sell grilled beef on skewers and call it Al-Shabaab Kebab. I have my jokes written on my hands. You've heard of jazz hands? Well, I've got joke hands, which are better, because they've got jokes on them, and they're funny. All right, speaking of Chris Christie, the poor guy can't catch a break. First, a judge ruled that his previous budget was against the law, and then a poll in New Jersey has him at his all-time lowest popularity, and then a longtime advisor resigned. Now, if that wasn't bad enough for old Chris, Applebee's will no longer allow him to order the all-you-can-eat ribs for $12. Blink-182 singer and founder Tom DeLonge says, not only do aliens exist and the government knows about them, but he's had encounters with them. Now, Tom, those weren't aliens. That was Aerosmith. Billionaire Ken Griffin says his soon-to-be ex-wife is requesting $1 million per month in living expenses and child support. This includes $6,800 for groceries, $7,200 for meals, of a grand total of $14,000 per month just for food. Seems perfectly normal to me, said the wife of Chris Christie. A lot of birthdays this week. Yahoo turned 20, Justin Bieber turned 21, and my entire wardrobe turned 30. Yes, I have socks older than Justin Bieber. This hand, every finger says Chris Christie on it. All right, 3 cases of leprosy have been confirmed in Florida. You're not going to outdo us, said Disney World to Disneyland. A fellow in Canada found himself snowed in after 3 feet of snow fell around his house on top of the snow that was already there. So he dug a tunnel from his house to his car. He says it took him 6 hours. I dug mine in 20 minutes, said his Mexican neighbor. Another new study says that the bubonic plague of the 14th century may not have been carried by rats, but by gerbils. Now you tell me this? Asked Richard Gere. You laughed a little too hard on that one. All right, England's Prince William had a 4-day trip to Japan this week, where he hobnobbed with Japanese royalty at the Imperial Palace. The trip was off to a rocky start when Japan's Crown Prince Naruhito gave Prince William 4 hours of math homework that he had to complete or he didn't get dinner. And then after dinner, Prince William had a 3-hour violin lesson, although he doesn't play the violin. Then after Japan, Prince William went to China, where on Monday he toured the 15th century Imperial Palace in Beijing, and then Monday evening met with the Chinese president. And the Chinese president said to him, if you think that's something, referring to the palace, come look at the vault where we keep all of America's money. Now, I've done all the jokes on the left hand, and I've done all the jokes on the right hand, but I still have more jokes to tell, and I don't have another hand. Or do I? Isn't this the creepiest thing you've ever seen? Yeah. Other than Gary Busey, who's pretty creepy. Hi! All right, let us see what the severed hand says. Let's see, a 21-year-old in Lincoln, Nebraska was pulled over by the cops, and the cops found 11 grams of weed in the car. Now, the guy had the weed in a sour cream container, and he labeled it not weed. Now, this guy is more stupid than you think, because he also had a girl in the car that he labeled not a prostitute. Let's see. All right, if the Republicans want to win the election next year, one thing they need is more young voters. Now, Rand Paul has already made a connection with young voters, and this past week at CPAC, he received thunderous applause and chants of President Paul, President Paul. But remember that marijuana just became legal in D.C., and those people chanting thought they were at a McCartney concert. Okay, next. Let's see, some vandals in Indiana spray painted a bridge, and some of the graffiti they wrote included the words, "Hail Satin." Now, authorities think that they meant to write "Hail Satan," and they just couldn't spell. But I'm not quite sure, because on the other side of the bridge, they wrote "Hail Polyester." Here's a heartwarming story. An engaged couple that lives outside of Boston won $15 million in a scratch-off lottery ticket. What's the first thing they're going to buy? A snowblower. A high school senior in Wisconsin has started a boycott against Michelle Obama's school lunch reforms. She says that these new school lunches are just smaller portions and kids go hungry. And Chris Christie said, well, I ate one of these lunches and I didn't go hungry afterwards. And the senior told him, that wasn't one lunch you ate all the lunches for the entire week. I just received word from the legal department that Chris Christie is on his way here right now to kill me. So maybe I better go. Bye.